Hello and welcome to GTO Coach and Go. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey, and I want to welcome you back for those of you who are joining us again. For those of you who have not joined us, welcome. GTO Coach and Go is something that we're doing every week to give you more information on new features and updated features that we have in our GTO system. Before we go any further, I do want to tell you that if you have not done so yet, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking the little subscribe button down below. You can also ring the bell and it will give you a notification whenever we do have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and you can like our Facebook page. Yes, we do have a new Facebook page, so make sure you go on Facebook and like us there. Welcome to you. And today we are going to be going through some new information. We've got an application called Company Manager, and it does some really fantastic things to help you organize your own business. And in order for us to go through that, we're going to bring back one of our regulars, and we want to welcome Corey Vries back. Corey is our network engineer. And Corey, I was just letting them know that we're going to be going through Company Manager today. So what can you tell us about Company Manager?
Well, I can tell you that being a boss is a lonely world. I know it's true, and all the extra stuff they have to do. I know right now everybody who's not a boss is thinking I'm lying, and everybody who is a boss is like, yes, he finally gets me. All this extra work you have to do. Well, I'm about to give you extra work that's going to save you time in the long run. Everybody time by stuff that you can do, and that's through our Company Manager. And this is an app that we've designed just for managers, for people who are in charge of companies, to manage information across the system for their own company. So let me do the story. I can't squint to share my screen. And we should be seeing my screen, I hope.
Yes, we are.
Excellent. So here's Company Manager. You'll access that through the My Apps page. If you've been given access to seeing anything, then when you pull something up, you will see something that looks like this. This is the best travel company in the world. It's called Awesome Travel Company. It's our demo company here at GTO. And you'll know it's your company because your logo should be sitting dead center saying, "Welcome to your Company Manager." There's not a lot to do here on your dashboard or inside the dashboard. Everything you need is right here on your dashboard. So all the things that we're going to talk about today are sitting here on your dashboard, ready for you to add information, change information, and see some information that you might want to send across the system. The first thing you're going to notice, or the first thing I'm going to draw your attention to, is something you don't have to do anything with, which is over here are company users. So here on the left hand or the right hand side, you'll see your company's users, and you should see then a list of all the users that are associated with your company. Now, if you happen to be a manager but not an owner, or if more than one person has access to update this information in your company, you may not see your users. This will be only owners will be able to see this information, or presidents, or the whoever's highest on your list that sits here in Company Manager is going to see the users associated with that company. So you may come here and see nothing over there. That doesn't mean your users aren't there. It may just mean, like, let's say you're the manager, but there's an owner who also has access. The owner is the person who gets to see those users. But you'll also then know who is who. Like, if you have an employee and you're like, well, I thought we had signed them up, and they're not on that list, then you need to call one of us and say, hey, I need to add a user, or where is this user? Or you might even see maybe a user that's outdated that you don't want to pay for anymore. Tell us, no, we kick that person to the curb. It's time to get them off the list. So it'll be there and live. So if you see it on there, they're on the system and running. So make sure you get us that information as soon as possible. On your left-hand side over here, you're going to see some click here's too. That's what I call those. Click here too. And so we're going to go through them just one by one to show you. So the first one is to click here to update your general information. So when I click there, it's going to take you to your company. And basically what you can do here is update your website here, www.awesometravelco.com, right? I want to add that. I didn't have the website on there. Now I do. Our address, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We share some offices with people in suits. I don't know. But it's there for you. Your phone number over here. All that is ready for you to, let's say you move. You can change your address as you need to. Let's say you change phone numbers. You can change your phone number there. And some of the stuff that's in here, you will see added later. Like there'll be some things added in the future. We'll talk about what's coming in the future for Company Manager at the end. But right now, one of the things you can add is if you standardize a group minimum. So let's say you have 70 people going on a trip, but you always want to give yourself a cushion of say 3 people. Then you can put the number 3 in there, and starting soon, that number will actually translate over to all your proposals to subtract 3 automatically, so that when you calculate a price, it will actually calculate on 67 people instead of 70, meaning that if they dropped a couple of people, you wouldn't have to recalculate out the trip every time. So you would place that number there. You'll get a little bit more information about that coming soon. But if you want to start thinking about that as a process, you can. It could be 1, it could be 10, it could be 400. Although, having 10 people pay for a 500, 410 trips might be a little much. But that's where you can do that information as well. So then, coming back to our dashboard, we have a click here to update your logo. If you get a new logo, no problem. We want to use that logo. You can go ahead and click here to update that logo. Now, the nice thing about this is your old logo will be there. You can delete that file if you'd like. But in reality, all you have to do is drag another file to that space where it says browse and drop it in there. Or you can click browse to go onto your computer to find that logo. It doesn't make a difference either way. But we do ask that your logos be at least 250 pixels wide by 100 pixels high. Now, you may have a taller one than, or a higher, taller one than wider one. That's fine. But we like to stick to these numbers. I may have to shrink it down a little bit, but it's easier to shrink down on a good resolution logo than it is to make a bad resolution logo look good by widening it out. So let's try to get those logos at least 250 by 100. Logos should be in PNG format. That's not, if you put a JPEG up there, I could make that work as well. But PNG is a good standard format for the internet. So if you don't have a logo in PNG format, I suggest that you, just go through one of those conversions that you can even do it online that will give you a PNG format, and then you'll have your logo on there as well. For it to go system-wide, the logo will take a day or two. So just be aware that it won't be instantaneous to get your logo across all your dashboards. And even here, it may also not appear here. It will take a day before the logo gets updated across the board. Terms and conditions. So when you have trips, you may get tired of putting terms and conditions into everything. We try very desperately to get all your information in the system so that it just generates out, right? Sometimes we have problems getting all that information out or in the system. We don't want to take the time to shove it all in there. But once it's in and can go wherever it needs to go. So here's where you put your information about payments, due dates, and balance dues. You can put your information about travel protection, group cancellations, responsibility and liability, confidentiality, hold harmless, force majeure, anything you have on your contracts, you can put that information here, and then we can pull it to wherever it needs to go. So putting it on a contract. The reason I say that this is nice is because in the system, the way it is right now, if you want to change that, you have to call us, and let us know. And then we have to go into the system and change it on the document. When in reality, what we can do now is you put it in there, and then when you want to change it, just change it out. Just make it totally different. And then everything that gets generated after that will have your new language on it. You won't have to call us, worry about it at all. It'll just be there for you. Jim, still seeing everything okay?
I am.
Awesome.
The thing I liked about what you were just working on too, with the COVID protocols changing
Yes.
on a daily basis, this gives them an opportunity and a place to actually be able to go in there and change it every time they get the new COVID protocols and stuff coming in. So, that's really, really helpful for them to be able to have the most up to date language in all of their documentation. So this is really great. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, especially with theme parks and things like that changing their mask
Oh yeah.
protocols. And you want to make sure that your legalese is exactly how you want it. That's the place to do it. Also, the last click here is clicking to update your WeTravel information. So just a thing on this, there's a lot of information you want to send over with your WeTravel. We have a questionnaire that you can fill out that is pretty lengthy. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of information here as I scroll down. But once it's in, and it will then, when your trips are sent to WeTravel, it will send that information automatically. You don't have to worry about whether or not you did it for each one. Because remember, GTO pairs pretty seamlessly with WeTravel. So once you have all this information filled out, all you have to do is press the button and off to WeTravel it goes. And with all the information that you're asking for. And so I suggest that you really take a little bit of time, read the instructions, move down the list. Whenever you see this eye, not the eyeball, that's a different thing, but whenever you see the eye, it's to give you a little helpful instruction, like this WeTravel account email. Hover over it. This is the primary email address that allows you to create trips and see all information. Um, Here's another one. This question is used as a signing method for terms and conditions. So just it gives you lots of information. If any of you have dealt with Christina in the past, you know she is super thorough. So all these questions are coming straight from her that she needs to have in order to get that WeTravel set up as quickly as possible for you. As we come back to our dashboard, those are our 4 click here twos. And you've seen your logo and you've seen the users. 2 more things we want to look at, and that is currency conversions and pricing levels. So first of all, let me tell you that if you just saw the red and tried to click on it, like I have done several times, even though I created this dashboard, and then I remembered, nope, that's not what it says. It actually says click on the tabs below. So if I read, I would know that down below there are tabs. There's the home, the pricing level, and the currency conversions. If you're saying to yourself, why isn't there a click here too? That's because pricing level and currency conversions are housed in a different in a different app altogether. But we don't want to make you have to go to that app and then and find where you need to go. We're going to go right there from here, and I can also report all your pricing level and currency conversions here as well. So you never have to go hunting for them in the sales manager. They're going to be right here on your company manager. So let's tap on pricing levels down below. We're going to see our screen change. Now, if I had some pricing levels, this would be where they would be. Listed down for me, all of them. So I can see them all in a nice list. And if I want to add a new one, all I have to do is go to add new pricing level. When I do that, I'm going to go ahead and send this out into another tab. Basically, it's going to take you to the add pricing level, right? And I can set my destination. If like where, if basically, if you're just setting a bunch of them, all destinations work, right? You can name this whatever you want to. right? Set your start date. You can get this. I'm not going to fill this out for you, but start date, end dates, your margin, your airline margin, your per person admin fee, your admin fee, your commission. Motor coach margin, not quite set up yet. So that's going to be for later when if for those people who want to do a different motor coach margin. Um, and then what'll happen is when you save and close this, and you would come back to your dashboard, then it would be listed here in this table. All of them will be listed here in this table so you can see them. These are set to be super flexible. And again, life of a boss. It takes a little bit to get those set up. You're thinking, why can't I just have a series of fields in every trip and I type in the percentage and this number and this number and this number and this number. Now think about this. If you're typing in 6 numbers to get the price that you're wanting, or you just select one from a list, your salespeople can do all of that with 1 click instead of 6 clicks. And though that doesn't seem like a lot of time in the short term, as years go by and they don't have to do that, you're setting it up one time is setting them up to be speedier on their trip creation. It just makes it more efficient. So if you can sit down and really think about how you want your pricing levels to work, and please talk to someone at GTO about that. If you're confused about any of those fields and what they do, we're happy to show you. But those the pricing levels is a cool feature for sales to use to just quickly move through with their percentages, as opposed to having to think about exactly what they want to put in every box. And then under currency conversion, the system will actually take a trip, and let's say you have a trip that is going to that is coming from Europe, and you need to charge them in euros. You can actually do the currency conversion at the end of the trip from dollars to euros to send them a proposal in euros. You're still dealing with dollars here in the United States. Now, you can also do that on a product level. So if you need to pay a company, or a company's prices come to you in euros, you need to convert them to dollars, you can do that. Now you're saying to yourself, well, how do I know what my currency conversion is? Well, we could use an outside system for currency conversion, but that would change daily. And we know doing group travel like this, we can't have our prices changing daily. So we're going to have to make a guesstimation. And there is no one better to make that guesstimation than you. You have the experience to know what the stability of those pricing conversions are going to be. So we give you the ability to add the pricing conversion that you want to add. And they're changeable. They're in your control. You can change these pricing conversions at any time. And if you haven't seen a coaching go on pricing conversions, which I believe was several months ago now, Jim, is that right?
It was.
Then you can go back and look on that, and then maybe we'll have a refresher course on that coming up later. But when you're adding your conversions, you can add your valid start and end date. It chooses what's your conversion from, right? And these this field will become bigger soon. But let's say you wanted to do from the United States dollar to the British pound. You can do it that way, and then you choose your rate that's going to affect it. So obviously, if you are going to put a number higher than 1, it's going to increase the price, and if you put a number lower than 1, it's going to decrease the price, depending on the conversions. And anyone who's doing international travel is going to have a much better handle on currency conversions than we are, and without the fluctuations of the daily conversion rate. Because that would be a nightmare for you, that you go to bed one night and the next night you wake up and your trip is totally changed in price because the currency has changed. So we give you the ability to add those conversions as you see fit. Then when you're on the product and sales, you can add that currency conversion to it when you need it. And so that sort of gives you the company manager: general information, logo, terms and conditions, we travel, currency conversions, pricing levels, and a list of your users. Now, coming in the future, We have that minimum field that's coming online. We're also going to have a place where you can choose products that you'd like to add to every trip. So if you have a trip that you know every, or at least most, and I'll tell you why most. So if you have a trip that every trip has this product on it, you can put that in, we'll be able to put that in Company Manager, and then it will just automatically add to every proposal after that. And when I say most, it's because if you have one that goes on most trips, but there's a couple of trips where you know it doesn't go on, it's easier to take it off than put it on the majority of them, right? So it saves you time. If you know that every trip has a, let's say you run a scholarship, or let's say every trip has to have a tour director, or let's say every trip has to have some items like a lanyard or a Lamborghini, whatever it is that you want to add to every trip. That's for the director. The Lamborghini's for the director. um, let's say you want every director that travels with you gets a new car. Then we want to add that as a product. We want to add that as that automatically goes on a proposal. We're going to have that soon. So you can list down all the ones that you want on any trip, on every trip down. And that will save then your staff a whole bunch of time adding in products that they don't need to, because they'll already be there. So those are some things kind of coming to Company Manager, and be able to push back and forth. Your emergency number, for instance. We're going to make sure your emergency number is on this section so that it will pull to where you need it to pull for itineraries and things like that. We'll get that emergency number ready for you. So basically, that's Company Manager, Jim.
Well, that sounds fantastic. One question that
Yeah.
I have is this automatically going to show up in their apps, or do they have to contact us for that?
No. So if it's not showing up in your apps today, then they should contact you, because then there's some question as to who is going to be in charge of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a matter of not adding them to it. It's a matter of, are you the person that should have access to it? Now, everyone on the system might see that application in their My Apps. And that's because the information that we have there needs to be seen in other places by them.
Okay.
So, for instance, when we use a logo, um, and this is for any user, if there's a place where you think there should be a logo, but a logo isn't appearing, that probably means that that somehow we've made a mistake in some permission levels. We need to change that. One of them is that you have to be added to Company Manager. So it sits there, but when you click on it, you can't see anything. There's nothing there. It's just a blank screen. It says Company Manager, and that's it. You can't click on anything. There's no tables. There's nothing for you to do there. But we still have to give you access to it so that the information is visible by you when we put it somewhere else.
Okay. That's really great. That's really great. If you have questions on currency conversions, if you have questions on any of like the legal language and where you would add specific language, by all means, make sure to email Corey or myself, and our email addresses are now appearing on the screen. So make sure you reach out for us. We'll be more than happy to go through all this information for you. And as Corey mentioned earlier, we did do a coach and go on Company Manager previously. So make sure to go back and watch a little bit of, currency conversion previously. Make sure to go back and watch that. If you have more questions about currency conversions and stuff, you can ask us that as well. So, Corey, thank you for bringing all of this information to us. And, you and I know we've got a whole lot behind the scenes that's happening in order to do some more updates and to increase, as you said, their efficiency and ways for them to make sure that everything that they need is exactly where they need it and when they need it. So that's basically our goal, is to give you new information each week, so that way you're using the system to the best of your abilities, and to and to do the things that your company needs for it to do. So make sure you keep watching, and we'll make sure to be sharing more info like that with you. And you may have noticed, well, I'm sure you have, whether you've been joining in. And we've had some people coming in and leaving throughout the stream today. But you might be a little confused why we're doing this today. Well, we have, as we mentioned a week ago, we've changed GTO Coach and Go to Tuesdays at 2 p.m. So it is live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. You can join us live if you missed out and you want to watch old Coach and Goes, or if you want to get this information again, or watch this information, or share this information with other users in your company. All of our videos are on our YouTube channel. So make sure to go to Group Travel Odyssey on YouTube, and you will be able to find all of the videos that we have made. Well, why are we switching it to Tuesday? In another week, week and a half, we are going to be having a new live stream on Thursdays at 2, and that's going to be starting on February 24th at 2 p.m. It's called Destination Dispatch. And Destination Dispatch is going to be offering you a view of some really fantastic destinations and reasons why your groups should be traveling to these destinations. So Keith, myself, and Stephen are going to be coming in and introducing you to some people that are going to tell you all of the fantastic information about their destinations. So that will be starting again on Thursday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Again, it's called Destination Dispatch. So that will be coming up in a week and a half. We're going to be sending you more information about that probably towards the end of this week as well. And we'll be reminding you. So Tuesdays at 2, it's going to be GTO Coach and Go. Thursdays at 2 is going to be Destination Dispatch. So we wanted to make sure you have all of that information. As we've often said, we want you to be a part of our community, and we want to give you the information that you need or that you're looking for in order to offer the best experiences to your groups and to your buyers. So make sure to tune into our programs. Make sure to contact us if you need any information. And we look forward to being here for you each and every week with new information and with updates to our system, and to actually expose you to some really wonderful destinations that you can take your groups to. So Corey, I want to thank you for joining us again today and taking us through Company Manager. It's
Absolutely.
always a pleasure having you here with us. And you always do such a fantastic job of making sure that everybody has the information, and you present it as easy as possible for them to actually be able to go through and find their way around. So I want to thank you for that. And for the rest of you, make sure that you do join us again next week. And we look forward to always seeing you, and take care. Have a wonderful week, and see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.